losing daylight, so it's going to be somewhat quicker. This is a video that I like doing. Don't get me wrong. Do like doing these videos, but it's a big pain in the ass. And the next two are going to be the same way, because getting out a bunch of books from all these shelves, and there's more shelves here, so it's 4 rows. They have that up there, and so it's 4 plus 3, so it's 7 rows. And because I don't have a row up there, that's because I can't do that. But complete December graphic novel haul, a video I should have filmed way in advance, but time kept getting the better of me. But let's get on with it. And then first up, we're gonna do the books that aren't from Image, because when I'm buying books myself, it's Image Comics and Image Comics only. A way to budget myself. I've explained this multiple times on the channel. TLDR is just I prefer to collect from Image. But I did get books as a gift from someone else, and they were from DC Comics, and it was not all 7 volumes, the first 7 volumes of the Green Lantern Archives. I'm going to hold up 1 volume per. So when I'm going over them, I'm going to do it 1 volume per book, and not just grab all 7 and try and lift that, because I feel like that's a travesty waiting to happen. So this is Green Lantern Archives. This is volume 1, written by, let's go with the writer. Although it's the state here, it's kind of, okay. Stories by Josh Broome, art by Gil Kane and Joe Giella. And except when noted, but we're not gonna go over that. And this collects Showcase 22, 23, 24, and I think Green Lantern 1 through 5. So first 5 issues of Green Lantern, and plus Showcase 23, 25, right? No, 22, 24. So Showcase 22, 24, Green Lantern 1 through 5. Do they have it in the table of contents, or do I have to keep looking at it? Yeah, they do. Okay, so I gotta look at where I actually look. But Green Lantern Silver Age. These ones are going to take me a long time to read, because I am not a huge fan of the Silver Age in general, and DC Comics was, like, if you don't like Marvel in the Silver Age, you're especially going to like DC in the Silver Age. I do like Fantastic Four. The Silver Age books I like are Fantastic Four, Amazing Spider-Man, and some issues of the Avengers. The first 10 were it was literally like homework, like eating your vegetables. Comic Pop says that infamously, and I agreed wholeheartedly with them. But after that, like, for whatever reason, like, I think it was issue 19 I was reading after that, and I actually liked that one. But it's been a while since I've read anything from the Silver Age. It's just one of those things that, and also the way I'm reading now, to commit an hour when I don't know if I'll have that hour to commit to that one book, and it's the way I split up the reading to add in an hour is one of those things. It's like, I don't know about that. Like, reading books that take me a half hour is sometimes a pain in the ass if I add in 1 more book. And that's on your average work day, not day like today where I have the whole day to myself, presumably. But, so I showed the artwork, volume 1. Now, I do not show the artwork. If I get a series and I have all 7 volumes I bought in 1 month, I only show the artwork of volume 1. Again, to avoid spoilers. But, of course, last month I got Monstrous Volume 10. It's an ongoing series, and obviously I did not buy all 10 volumes in 1 month, so I show the artwork of Volume 10. Because I have Volume 10, but I don't. I got Volume 10 that month. I didn't get the other ones that month, so I just show off where I got that month. But otherwise, I just do the artwork of Volume 1. But I will tell you how many issues are collected in each volume. Volume 2 collects Green Lantern 6 through 13. And then I just like there was more I had to say about that, but not really. Green Lantern Volume 3. If I showed at least show the cover for Volume 2. If I didn't, here's the cover, Volume 2. Cover Volume 2, 6 through 13 of Green Lantern. Green Lantern Volume 3 collects Oh, and also if the creative team changes for like volume 10 of a series, and again, I got all 10 volumes in 1 month, I'm just going to say what the creative team volume 1 is. If it changes, it changes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Green Lantern 1421 is collected in volume 3. Volume 4 is Green Lantern 22 to 29. And there's a cover for volume 4. They're not that great, the covers. Like, they're all just uniform. Because they like the spines look the same, the covers look about the same. It's just a character or two characters doing a pose, and that's it. And also, I think a lot of these archive editions are out of print. So if I don't end up liking these, I can sell them because they're mine now, and I can do what I want with them. I would feel a little bit bad about them now. I probably would just do a giveaway on Instagram at the end of the day. Because honestly, selling comics is a lot harder than it sounds. Green Lantern Archive Volume 5. But even then, I would probably keep it. I don't know. But because I did start reading The Silver Age. And it was like one time I liked it, the other time I didn't. So maybe third time with the charm for Green Lantern Silver Age. And then this is volume 5. And it collects Green Lantern 30 to 38. They do collect a lot in these archive editions. And how much are they? Like 50? Yeah, they're $50. That's the one thing I always hated about that. Like the Marvel Masterworks in the DC archives are standard size hardcovers that only collect like less than 10 issues sometimes, up to 12, I think. And it's like $50 for $50 for DC and $75 for Marvel, and I think both have increased in price. They don't do archive editions anymore for DC, and I think Marvel Masterworks is leaving too, because it's just like so more cost effective to get the omnibus. Green Lantern Volume 6 collects Green Lantern 39 to 47. Then finally, Volume 7 of Green Lantern. Here's two characters on for this cover. Was there two characters on the cover, though? There's not. Okay. Yeah, two characters here. And then this one collects, different paper quality. This one collects Green Lantern 48 to 57. I just gotta do a quick thing here. Good. Alright. So what did I say? 48 to 57? I just want to double check to make sure I was right. Yes. Volume 7 collects Green Lantern issues 48 to 57. And then again, here's the cover. So that's all the books that I got that were not from Image Comics. I'll go over it again, because again, I'm going to treat this as everyone's video is someone's first video. Basically, it's just first of all, cost effective. I'll show a cover. And why not? This one collects 5 issues of a series, and it's like, 136 pages. This would be $20 from Dark Horse. And what's ironic enough is that they probably have a reprint that's going to be from Dark Horse, and it's going to be $20. But this is $17.99, so a little bit more expensive. But usually these run $16.99. They're usually pretty evenly priced, and then Dark Horse just charges you up the ass for the Survival Street. That was 4-issue miniseries, and it was $20, 128 pages. And it was standard size paperback, too. It wasn't like an oversized paperback or oversized hardcover or anything like that, or even the hardcover edition. And so, obviously you're going to get great stories from any publisher. So you can't say, oh, Image has the best stories out of all of them. No, not really. But I also just have the best luck with Image Comics, with their books. I think a lot of my top 5 that isn't, actually almost all my top 5 that isn't Vertigo is from Image Comics. It's Preacher, Sin City, that's Dark Horse, Paper Girls, Walking Dead, and then Wicked and the Divine. Well, actually, no, instead of Walking Dead, it'd probably be Scalped, and then Wicked and Divine for number 5. Although I probably would. I don't know, but it changes every now and then. Like not too much. I'd honestly say since it's been so long, I should put Walking Dead in there instead of Wicked and Divine. But again, most of them are Image, and I'd say top 10. Most of them would be Image. That fell for no reason. That was weird. But because they moved something that was behind it, and it was a fucking coat. You know. Anyways, let's get on to the actual comic haul. That no, it's still a comic haul. All right, so I'm gonna do it this way. So I put these in Mylars because why not? First up is Grey Lady, and that's written by Adam Glass and Mike Benson, with artwork by Ken Lashley. And here is the artwork for Grey Lady. So I usually don't get floppy comics, these single issue books. They're just, again, less cost effective. It's more cost effective to buy the trades than the individual issues. And I am a trade waiter, and I am fine with being a trade waiter because I'm not even like... honestly, some of the books I collect are not new releases. They're older books. But yeah, of course I'll throw in some new releases there. In fact, November was mostly new releases. But because of that reason, I don't usually collect the single issues. But this one, it was a one-shot, and I was at the comic shop that day, and I was like, you know what? I remember they wanted Grey Lady, so instead of having to buy the Kindle edition, the same price, let's buy the physical edition. Then next up is Startling Tales of Santa Claus, and this is written by multiple writers, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show the credits page. And that should be clear enough to see. Then I'm going to show the interior artwork for the Startling Tales of Santa Claus. This is an anthology series, and again, it says 2025 annual, so I thought it was like, oh, they have one for 2024 and beyond, or not beyond, but before. Looks like that's not the case. They just call it the 2025 annual, because I guess I'll do a 2026 annual. I don't know. But this one was also one that I was, honestly, I would not have gotten physically. I was just going to have to deal with it not having it, or get it off eBay or something like that. But again, at the comic shop. And I actually had forgotten about the series too, and I just had seen it on display. And I was like, oh yeah, I want that book. And I got the variant cover. Actually for all the floppies, they're all variant covers. Then we have Dread the Halls, the 2025 edition, which is actually the longest they've ever made these. Usually they're 48 pages, and this one was 64. Here's the cover. I got the Luana Vecchio variant, and I'm glad I did. Especially because the first series, the first story in here is drawn by Luana Vecchio. And I think it's the character that is featured on the cover, is featured in the book itself. Which I always found that to be cool. Like, sometimes the variant covers are just variant covers. They'll do like a homage to the 70s or the 60s. And they'll make it look like an old Marvel comic when it's actually from Image and it's a modern book. But this one, yeah, it's just the character that is featured in it. So, Jordan Hart, Chris Ryall are the writers, and then Luana Vecchio, Lee Ferguson, Nathan Jones, Walter Pax, and I believe Fabio Verez are all the artists. Let's see. Because who does the lettering? Logo design, it's not. So covers. Yep, I was right. So all those artists say, all those other names I mentioned, they're all the artists. And Chris Ryall and Jordan Hart are the writers. And I hope this time there's more Jordan Hart than Chris Ryall. Not that I have anything against Chris Ryall, it's just that I feel like it'd be, because I got it because of Jordan Hart. Because the way I buy Image books is oh, this is the last book I need from this author. Because this is the last thing that Jordan Hart did for Image Comics. So I got Dread the Halls. But if he only did one story in there, and it's like a 5-page story, I don't include that. Again, it's a way for me to save money. That's why I don't have a whole lot of those anthology books from DC, from Image Comics, not DC Comics. From Image Comics is because the anthology books are so damn many from Image, and it's just, oh, this guy, this writer did a 5-page story. Maybe at most did a 15-page story. And it's just like, eh. And 15 pages at that point, I probably would include it, but borderline. Anyways, moving on to Last Man. So it's 6 volumes, and it's 12 issues total. It was originally a French comic, and then Image Comics comes out with the translated versions and collects 2 of the French comics into 1 book. So 6 volumes instead of 12. So it's chapters of the French comic, and it was a 12-chapter series that's collected across 6 volumes. I just felt the way I described it first, it was just weird. Written by 3 people, so honestly, I must say that one is the translator, but Michael Senalville, Bastien Vives, and Baylock, with the illustrations being done by Bastien Vives and Michael Senalville. And, it's translated by Edward Grubin, so I was wrong. I don't need design, I don't need that, okay. And then... Oh, it wasn't was not in black and white here. I think after it is in black and white, though. Maybe it's just a flashback. But yeah, there's the artwork for Last Man. And you'll see that, so it's part of it was most of it's in black and white, but here, I'll show it. See, most of it's in black and white. We just had those first few pages that were in color. Okay, so I'm going to put these to the side because that's a recipe for disaster. Last Man Book 2. You can tell it was from Amazon because they fucked it up. Amazon, their blemishes are just like how did you get this blemish on this book? So it's actually almost peeling off the spine is. But I can kind of correct it, but not really all that successfully. It's shelfware. I super stutter there. I know I have a blemish like that, and honestly, if this is at the bottom, I wouldn't care as much. Because again, it's shelfware. But to get it brand spanking new, even that's kind of silly. Because this could pass off as used very good, honestly. So yeah, here's book 2. And again, it's 2 chapters per volume, so 2, 3, and 4 for chapter 2. Chapter 3, book 3, and here is book 3 of Last Man. So I know nothing about this series other than it's a fight comic, and it's for fans of Ultra, Mega, and Invincible. Honestly, I heard Last Man, I thought it was just another Last Man on Earth kind of book, but it's not. It has more to do with My Hero Academia. And I don't know why I want to say My Hero Academia, but I do, than it does with Why the Last Man. So there is book 4. This one was a bit of a long time coming too, because I had heard this series a while back, book 5, but it's 6 volumes, and they're $25 each, so there was no way in hell I was going to be able to get anything else other than this. And then book 6, if I was buying it myself. Maybe one other book. Alright, so there's all of Last Man. And let's do a Big Game now. Big Game is written by Mark Millar, with artwork done by Pepe Larraz. Giovanni Nero is the colorist. And this collects 1 through 5 of Big Game. I'm going to double check to make sure I'm right. Really? So back here, at least. Yes. Okay, good. So I was right, 1 through 5. So this is and this is breaking my little rule I just set for myself of, I just gotta go over here. Just do this. Got a cold, and I also don't wanna be. There we go. All right. So a Big Game is written by Mark Millar, and first of all, I can't even collect everything that Mark Millar has done for Image because the sequels are done by Dark Horse. So to have it's not gonna look great on my shelf, and I don't like how that looks. I'm OCD about how I have my shelf, and to have Image books next to Dark Horse books, yeah, it's all the same series and same writer, yada yada yada, but it looked terrible, and I just don't like how it looked on my shelf. So I'm just gonna collect what I can from not collect what I can. I'm just gonna here and there collect what I want from Mark Millar, but a lot. I think every single series he's done for Image has at least one sequel coming out from Dark Horse. Maybe a couple of them won't get sequels, but they probably all will eventually. But Big Game is. I thought there was a Big Game 2 from Dark Horse. Apparently, there's not. So I decided to get it, and probably the last Mark Millar book I own. I'll own from Image. Maybe one day I'll get over my little OCD nature and just get the Dark Horse Mark Millar books, but even then, that's very expensive too. It's a lot of money to put in. I have a lot of Mark Millar books, but he did a lot for Image. There is that. And then there's sequels that aren't even written by him, like there's some Kick-Ass volumes that is this whole spin-off of Kick-Ass that's not written by him, but it's still published by Image. There's just a ton of other books you need to get beforehand, so maybe a year from now, but even then, a year from now, I'm probably going to be thinking about sizing down the comic book collection. So, which is not something I want to think about. See, I did the artwork. It just did that. I'm going to do it again. I don't know why. Show the same 2 pages, too. That's Big Game. And then we have Night World, which is written by Adam McGovern with Paolo Leandri and then Dominique Regan doing the artwork, right? No. So Adam McGovern does the script, pencils, inks, and letters is Paolo Leandri, and Dominique Regan is the colorist. Which actually I was right. And this one collects Night World 1 through 4. What's supposed to be the first 4 issues, but must have got canceled. My theory is because no one knew that the series was even coming out. I had never even heard this series. And it was somewhat recent because it was advertised on the back of a comic that isn't that old. Like this wasn't like the 90s or anything like that, or early 2000s. This was like 2010s. And that was it. And I just, it's sticky. Gross and bad it is. Wipe it off. It's noticed that. It's on the book. This one was kind of hard to find on my comic shelf because it's just kind of, because it's kind of a skinny book. So yeah, this is a great example of what I was saying. So Dark Horse, this would be $19.99. And this isn't the best one to show off, but this is $12.99 from Image Comics. And I say it's not the best one to show off because it is somewhat older. Like this was what, like 2014? 2015. So that was 10 years ago. But still. Yeah, first 4 issues to the cult hit classic. Or sorry, the cult hit comic. They didn't say classic. They said comic. Apparently not enough of a hit to get a sequel. Dean Haspiel gave it good praise, though. Alright, moving on. Because we gotta get going. Just staring at a book and saying nothing. Or next to nothing. Lost Fantasy. So actually, this one... Why is there stuff on this one? Why am I just noticing that? Alright, anyways. Lost Fantasy. This one collects 1 through 4. So as I was saying before... This is $16.99, but this would be $20 from Dark Horse. And it would actually, like this is the perfect one to show off, because there's 4 issues, and Dark Horse had a 4-issue series that was $20. So that's why I do Image rather than Dark Horse. And it was just like, again, it was also, when I decided to make the decision, it was because that month I just so happened to be getting nothing but Image. Like it was my birthday, and I realized, earlier in the month, before I did my birthday comic haul, I was like, hey, I've been buying books that are from Image. And then, like, hey, birthday's coming up, let's just get everything from Image. And then, since then, I've been doing that, and I haven't looked back once. And again, it's one of those things at the end of the day, it's just, also, like, most of these series from Image, they have an ending. Spider-Man is never going to end, and you can say, like, oh, well, you get all the, the Nick Spencer's run, and then you get all the modern stuff. And even then, that's going to take a while. Or all the Silver Age stuff. And it's like, okay, and then what after that, It's kind of silly. I know I'm never going to own everything Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men, whatever. So I'm fine with not collecting the new stuff or not keeping up with the series. Now, yeah, all the absolute books from DC Comics I do have a huge case of FOMO for, and I hope one day my library gets the hardcovers, but I can do without it. Or it's on the Kindle, the sale on the Kindle. But until that day, I will have to bite the bullet of not having the series yet. Or not reading the series yet. But yes, Lost Fantasy. This is written by Curt Pyers with art by Luca LaGuardia. And then the color art is Mark Dale. Sorry, not Mike Dale. Mark Dale. And here is the artwork for Lost Fantasy. And I feel like that's not the best 2-page spread. This is a bit better. Now, technically, that is everything I need from Curt Pyers if you're talking about the, why is there dirt in all these books? Not this one. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm just not noticing that. It's like sticker. I mean, not dirt. It's like sticker residue when you tear a sticker off of it and it cleaves that. Like, that's what it looks like. I just noticed that. But anyways, Sci-Spy. If there's a series that I was the most excited about getting, this would be one of them. And of course, everything I got for Christmas, I was really looking forward to. Especially, actually, honestly, Last Man was too. The only one that I was like, I could have done without that is probably Big Game. But even then, it was like, well, I got... So Big... Oh, it's also Big Game is a huge crossover between all the Millar World books. And it's a sequel to Wanted. So I own Wanted, and I own most of the series that they cross over with. Except for Nemesis. I think that Nemesis is the only one. Don't own anything from, because they have like Kick-Ass, I have the first few volumes, and then Kingsman, I have it. Move on. But Sci-Spy is written by Doug Mensch, with artwork done by Paul Gulacy. And then, this is all 6 issues of this mini-series that was originally published by DC Comics, but got brought over to Image for the trade. Oh, the phone's way over there. She took her time. I can't type that on that because that's going to end the video. I'm going to go grab my phone. I'll unplug it because that's stupid not to grab my phone. It's just really tight space. But Sci-Spy. So I showed the artwork. What the other thing? 358. Okay. So, try and go over here. Just see how tight the squeeze is. It's like trying to... Alright. Sci-Spy I did. Sam Noir is the next book. It's the Sam Noir Samurai Detective, right? Okay, it doesn't say it here. But Sam Noir Volume 1, and it collects a holiday special and Sam Noir Samurai Detective issues 1 through 3. So 6 issues total. So Rodin Holiday is the second series. First series is called Samurai Detective. But 3 issues per series. For a total of 6. And we are losing daylight here. This is written by Eric A. Anderson and Manny Tremblay, with artwork done by Manny Tremblay. So I thought this was the only thing needed from either author. I don't know why I thought that, because they both teamed up on a series by Image. They'll have to get next month. But Eric A. Anderson only did the artwork, so at least for his writing credits, I have everything. It's just Sam Noir. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't. I think what happened was I saw the second series and I was like, oh, it's $30. And I didn't think to look at other third-party sellers on Amazon, because they will do that. They'll give you a new copy and it's really expensive, but then you can find like a huge new copy for half that price, if that. Like usually that's like the worst that happens. But yeah, I found that. So I think that's what ended up happening. But because I always make sure, like I want to make sure they have everything from that author. And it was like this series, like there was multiple series from Image written by both these guys. I would not have bothered with this. And again, it's just saving money. Like this one, Sci-Spy, that was pretty expensive for because it's kind of out of print. and it was kind of expensive for the trade. So I'm glad it's the only thing that Doug Bench did for Image, at least that I know of. Actually, I know that it's the only thing. I looked it up. So that's what I do. It's another way to save money. Because there's always books that could have gotten instead. But Sci-Fi was cheap. Sorry. Sam Noir was cheap enough. Sci-Fi was not. Sam Noir was cheap enough. Do a Power Bomb. This collects 1 through 7. Do a Power Bomb. Written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson, with colors done by Mike Spicer. So this was not one. There's another series that was from on Amazon. It was Daniel Warren Johnson Image, and I want to say it was this one and another one that was out of print, and it was kind of pricey, or it was like I had to deal with used very good. So I saw this at the comic shop. I was like, all right, after all, let's get this after all. But again, totally breaking the last thing I need from this author is this book, because it's the only thing I have from Daniel Warren Johnson, besides Transformers, from Image. But he didn't do a whole lot from Image, so I just got to do it next month. But yes, Daniel Warren Johnson, do a Power Bomb, collects 1 through 7. I have to do a Power Bomb. And it's just the artwork, but let's do it again. Because I feel like I forgot. And I know I did it for Sci-Spy, too. No, not Sci-Spy, Sam Noir. Well, all 3. I know I did. Hyde Street by Jeff Johns. This one was just bought. I was just like, why not? Let's just get it. But if I had seen literally any other Image book that I wanted, or like I kind of wanted, like if I saw Volume 1 of Lost Fantasy, I didn't have it already, I would have gotten that at Image. I would have gotten that at the comic shop. But the comic shop I go to just is like has no love for anything that's not Marvel or DC. Like, if you're a Marvel DC fan, especially a fan of those DC Compact Edition books, you're in luck. And even then, I actually don't think they had a whole lot of the DC Finest books, so not really. Marvel Omnibus is going to pay full price, I think. So, like comic shop, like, I would not be surprised if a year from now they start cutting back to an insane degree, and they just make themselves a pop figure in vinyl shop, because their comic selection is not that great. Floppies aren't as bad. Like, if you get new issues, I guess it's not as bad. But a lot of the reason why I stopped collecting floppies was because the comic shop wouldn't have the newest issue of a series. And there was like one series they wouldn't have, and the next, and the next, and the next. And I think at that point, I was trying to cut back anyway, so I wasn't like, oh, we can just go have them do a pull list for me, because like I could do that. And honestly, what I should have done is I should have just kept my pull list, gotten 5 floppies, and not strayed away from that. But it's not like it's a waste of money either. A lot of the books, a lot of the floppies that I have, I still read to this day, very regularly. I would do more regularly if it weren't for the library, but pretty regularly. Especially back then, like I want to say, like, for whatever reason, when I couldn't get the library, it was a nice way. Or everything is in between. Something like that, because I remember doing that several times, like reading the same series over and over and over again. But Hyde Street is written by Jeff Johns, with artwork pencils done by Ivan Reis and Francis Portela. And then inker is Danny Mickey. Color artist is Brad Anderson. And collecting 1 through 7. First 7 issues of Hyde Street. I stupidly thought that this was all of Hyde Street, like it was a mini-series. So at the very least, it'd been nice. I'm like, oh, well, it's a mini-series. No, it's not. So the reason why is because I was going to get all these Ghost Machine Jeff Johns books at once when it finally went on hiatus or ended or whatever. Or at least they were caught up. Like, this one is surprising that there's only 2 issues that aren't collected in here. But there's 2 more issues out after this trade came out. I think it was like while the trade was out, they had issue 8. But they have like Geiger in there. The trade collects 11 through 15, and then we already have 16 through 20 out, and 20th issue has been out for months. So has everything else, and they're so far behind. It's like, well, it's not gonna feel as satisfying. Like Snot Girl, that's all Snot Girl is collected in trades now, and then they're gonna come out with issue 21, but there's no news on when it will come out. Now, that doesn't always happen. Usually it's like 2 months in advance. They'll have the new issue solicited, like Assorted Crisis Events. that issue 6 was coming out like a month after the trade came out. So you had time to get the trade, get caught up, and then if you wanted to get the floppies afterwards, you could do that. So if you missed out on the floppies for the first 5 issues, something like that, or it was you only had issue 1, you get the trade, and then you get the next few issues that come out, and you make it adamant that you never miss out on an issue ever again. But anyways, Hyde Street. But again, that's the way I am with collecting comics, and a lot of it again is budget. Cannot imagine how even further in the hole I would be if I just collected whatever I wanted. Even from just one publisher. Thick ass book. This is Deadly Class. This is all 56 issues plus or 57 issues? No. All 56 issues plus the free comic book day one shot. Which I think that was all just Deadly Class. And that's what I think Free Comic Book Day should do, is it should be either be like just a reprint of issue 1 of the series, or be a one-shot story that anybody can pick up. Like, even if you're not collecting Deadly Class, you can still pick up that issue and go with it. Now, for these compendiums, I'm just going to be really quick when I show the artwork, and if it's not the best 2-page spread to show off, so be it. They're really thick, and I don't want to bend them or crease them or anything like that, because these are compendiums and they're very hard to keep together. Because they're thick paperbacks, not thick hardcovers. Even in omnibus, I'd be very selective about showing the artwork. In particular. Alright, I gotta put the next books on the other side. Something like that. Alright. All 2 volumes of Chew. It's 10 issues. Volume 1, the first course, collects 1 through 5, and then Chew Volume 2, She Drunk History, collects 6 through 10 of Chew. This is all written by the original series creator, John Layman, with artwork done this time by Dan Boltwood, instead of Rob Glory, who did the artwork of the original Chew series, which you will obviously soon see here. And here is the artwork for Chew. I'm probably going to have to turn on that light. We're losing daylight here. Yeah, I probably should have done this at 2 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock, right? Because that's right. Let's do it late now. I hate doing nighttime videos, especially in a new area when I'm filming, but that's the way it's got to be. Now, I like it now, but before it was awful. Like, before it was just a travesty because I didn't have 2 lights. But I do now. Of course, gotta also waste time. Dead air. And then gotta get back into that. And let's push this back. There we go. Much better. Although, not much better. The room is so damn small. It's the problem. Alright. Volume 2, Chew. Put that there. Oh, why didn't they put the Chew books back to back? That's look atrocious. Oh well. Did the artwork, did that, okay. Outer Darkness, volumes 1, 2, and 3. And 3. This is bent out of shape. This is, I think, the worst blemish I've gotten from a book from Amazon in a while. Like, how does that happen? I know it's this thin book, trade, but how does that happen? And I can't even really correct it. Anyways. Outer Darkness, Volume 1. Cacophony of Hate collects 1 through... Whoopsie. Sorry. Outer Darkness, Volume 1 is Each Other's Throats, and it collects 1 through 6 of Outer Darkness. Show the artwork. I did the artwork for a Chew. So I'm going a little bit fast. I'm kind of rushing. So you know what? Let's go. Because this was a travesty, let's actually do this instead. And pretend I didn't make a mistake. Pretend that you never saw Outer Darkness. Alright. So, Volume 1 of Chew collects 1 through 5. Written by John Layman with artwork done by Dan Boltwood, who also has the colors. And Chew Volume 1, the first course, collects the first 5 issues of Chew. I did show the artwork for Chew. Whoopsies. At least I'm pretty sure I did. And here's the artwork for Chew. The good thing I only do the first volume. And then we have the Chew Nomnibus, which collects all 60 issues plus all the spin-off issues of Chew. Does not collect, or at least doesn't seem to collect, the Revival crossover. But the Revival Compendium does collect that, and I have the Revival Compendium, so whatever. Just read it there. So Chew 1 through 60, and then what are the... So it was... yeah, it says the 3 specials. The 3 specials starring everyone's favorite homicidal, bionic monster, Rooster from Hell, Poyo. So it's like Special Agent Poyo, something or other. I can't find it. Where it says collect. There we are. Alright, so Secret Agent Poyo, Warrior Chicken Poyo, and Demon Chicken Poyo one-shot. So all 3 one-shots collected in here, but no Revival Chew, which is really weird. It's not collected in there. Maybe Tim Seeley just really wanted to get that Revival money, so he just had it in his, and he's like, no. So yeah, it's kind of hard to show the artwork for a compendium, but that's the best I can do. But this series here, I'll do it here too. I'm gonna... Yeah, it's hard. I can't do it. Alright, but Chew is a really good series. Glad to finally have it all in one thick compendium that hopefully doesn't fall apart. Although it's doing this kind of like trades shouldn't be doing that. But really good series. Really bizarre series, but also really good series. One of those that just like only can be done in comics kind of books. Only in the ridiculous world of comics can we have a series like Chew. Alright, I'll do this actually. We have 2 stacks of books. We're only through the first stack. Outer Darkness Volume 1, Each Other's Throats, collects 1 through 6 of Outer Darkness. This is written by John Layman with artwork done by A.Fu Chan. And that is... Okay, cool. Doesn't tell you. Unless they can not, they don't have it there. Oh, right here. No. Not right there. It's impossible to read, too. Alright, so I'm going to assume that the artist is A.Fu Chan. Then here is the artwork for Outer Darkness. And 1 through 6, Volume 1, Each Other's Throats. Volume 2 of Outer Darkness is Cacophony of Hate, and it collects 7 through 12 of Outer Darkness. Now, this was used very good, and there's a few blemishes on this book, but not anything too egregious. And this was not like any third-party seller. It was Prime shipping. I think it was a third-party seller off Amazon, but it was still Prime shipping. And usually those, if you get very good, there's got to be at least one big blemish if it's from Amazon Prime shipping. Like, they really put the very good into very good. The definition of very good into very good. They don't. Like, a good example of a third-party seller, when it said very good, but it was actually, like, you couldn't tell the difference between that and Like New, was my copy of Madame Mirage by Paul Dini. And the only thing that was noticeable blemish on it was that it was signed. It said there may be some writing on it, yada yada, and that's half-price books. They always will say that. They say across. It's a generic thing they have on there, and kind of in general thing that they have on there. And I've gotten lucky with it. There's been no writing. Even then, they said limited writing, but no writing on it. And then that one was just signed. All right, Outer Darkness and Chew, and this is Volume 3, but this is just the Outer Darkness and Chew crossover, which is all 3 issues. And then we have the last John Layman book, and that is In Hell We Fight, which collects all 5 issues of this mini-series, plus the Image Anthology special little one shot, not one shots, the plus short stories from Image, exclamation point, 30th anniversary anthology 10 and 11. So Image had this anthology series of not one shots, this 12 issue anthology series of 12 floppies. They were like 50 pages each. They're pretty thick. And they're just kind of hard to find. Like, I thought I'd find at least one at the comic shop, and they had like issues 1 and 2, and then after that they had nothing. Or it was issues 1 and 10 or something like that, and it was like, that's ridiculous. I know issue 8 went out of print fast. It had something to do with Department of Truth, or it was something like a first appearance of something, and that's kind of hard to find. I think it might have been Jeff Johns, actually. I know all 12 issues are written by Jeff Johns. And the reason why that series kind of pisses me off is because almost all the issues are also co-written, because it's anthology, so a bunch of stories. And then one of them is written by, a bunch of them are written by Brendan Fletcher. He has a Red Dawn or something like that. And I understand it's not actually called Red Dawn. But it was a series, and I can only get it through there. No trade of that yet. No trade that's listed yet, if at all. I'll show you artwork for In Hell We Fight. Oh, and then, so this is actually In Hell We Fight, Volume 1, A Snowball's Chance. So, collecting 1 through 5, plus the 2 issues from the Image Comics Anthology series. Written and lettered by John Layman, art by Jock. Colors by Jock and May. It's M-E-Y. And then here is the artwork for In Hell We Fight. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put all these back so we don't have an avalanche. There is the compendium. And get the other compendium there. And then, at least you're not want to the hardcovers, and there's like not a whole lot of hardcovers. Okay, 46 minutes. My God. Alright. Carmen. 1 through 5 of Carmen. Written by William March, who I believe also does the artwork. This was a series I owned previously, but not this slipcase edition, or this dust jacket edition. So, it's also out of print. So, it's really, 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 really a good idea for me to gotten the variant cover edition, and I can maybe even sell the original edition. But I might just take the dust jacket and put on the other version and sell this copy. Although, I don't know, because this is that was from the comic shop too. This is not the case of Amazon. It was from the comic shop itself. I think it was because it was there for so long. Just one of those books that. And I'm going to be very generous to all you if I'm watching this video for so damn long, and I'm going to show you one of the pages from this book that automatically gave this book an M rating. Although, I think you can still have this stuff in a Teen Plus book from Image. Their rating system seems to be very lax. Like, you can have the series that has Teen Plus, multiple F words in that series, and it's uncensored too, and then they'd have a book that was rated M, and it was only rated M because of the language. And it was like a few instances of the F word. Maybe there's violence too, but... Okay, is there a better one to show? That's good enough. Here's the artwork for Carmen. Now, this was a series that you'll be seeing a review of pretty soon here, because I decided to read my copy, because it was 5 issues, and I was like, hey, there's 5 days left in the month, I want to throw one last book in, and then let's do Carmen. So yeah, writer and artist William March. And like with Last Man, this is also it's a European comic, not French comic. I think this is... Yeah, European. I don't know. I don't want to be unintentional. Oh, that's cool. I just noticed this. This Ulta double as a poster. I'm gonna do it like this. Because I can't do it like this too great. That's pretty cool. And there was one thing that was in the book that was kind of silly. That you can say that you just saw in that. if you could read that. But it's really, honestly, like, other than a few juvenile jokes, which is very few and far between, it's pretty deep for a comic book. And then we have Manifest Destiny, Book 1. And there's another blemish. Oh my god, what the hell is this? 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 Toothpaste? What the hell? How'd that happen? Phantom. How'd I do that? How'd I do that? Get off that. How the hell did that happen? Like, yeah, I brushed my teeth before I filmed, but I wasn't reading a comic book before that. Or during. Get off of this book. Just flick it off, flick it off. Now it's water damaged. What the hell happened? Get off of this book. It's not that bad. We should wipe it off. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not really water damage. It's just like... How the hell did that happen? That was so weird. It was like someone squirted toothpaste on this. And it wasn't there before, too. So it was there afterwards. So yeah, Manifest Destiny is 1 through 24 of Volume 1. And then I think that's it. I don't think Volume 1 collects that extra one-shot issue. Yeah, that's annoying. I don't know how the hell that happened. Because it was definitely not on there before. I would have noticed that. So it had to have been after. Sometimes there will be just things that appear on my books. Like, it's not often it happens, but then it'll just be, like... It was weird. Actually, no, it was on the tablet. It was a super stutter, by the way. Manifest Destiny 1 through 24. So I was right, and that's it. Just 1 through 24. Yeah, that's annoying. I don't know how the hell that happened. So I am returning Book 2, and I really wish that blemish had showed up in Book 2. Because now I'm thinking just getting a replacement for Book 1, too. That's annoying. Alright, yeah, 1 through 48. No, 1 through 48. 1 through 24 for Volume 1 of Manifest Destiny. That's so weird how that happened. Because it was a huge glob too. Like it wasn't like a little bit like, oh, I held it with, no, it was like toothpaste. And let's show Manifest Destiny Book 2, which has, yeah, what is that? I think it is toothpaste. And it's like on the top of the books. This is like be a good start to a horror movie. Like, the toothpaste showed up in my book. Is this house haunted? Well, good thing I'm returning Book 2, so. But yeah, what even is that? And I don't know if I was so stupid when I was taking out these books that I had toothpaste on my hand. I probably did. And I'm probably just an idiot. But I would wash my hands afterwards. Because that is toothpaste. Yeah, I must have been just an idiot. But it's a huge glob, too. You would think I would know that. I don't know. But that is so annoying because it's a blemish on my book that's now going to show forever on Book 1. But yeah, Manifest Destiny Book 2 is 25 to 48. And then the Skybound X short story. And I was kind of rushing, too, because I'm not trying to get this done, but just, you know how it is. You're reading 8,000 books a day. The Scumbag is by Rick Remender. It collects all 14 issues of The Scumbag. And I'm pretty sure I showed the artwork for Manifest Destiny. In fact, I know I did. And then the artwork here. Okay, I'm going way too fast. We are rushing. 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 Why am I rushing? Slow the fuck down. So you guys know how mad I get when I see blemishes in my book. I'm gonna cut that part of the video. No, just keep it done. Alright. All done. Okay, Chris Digness is... Digness, like Dingus. Chris Digness is the writer here, and then Matthew Roberts is the artist, or Manifest Destiny. So yeah, I don't know how that happened. I really don't know how that blemish or that toothpaste showed. It was a huge glob, too. So yeah, there's the artwork for Manifest Destiny. The thing is, I'm trying to get this done in order to get more reading done, because I'm kind of behind with reading as of right now. And I gotta wonder, like, the books next to Manifest Destiny, those have toothpaste on them, too. The Manifest Destiny Book 2, same creative team. So I showed the artwork for Volume 1. I don't usually show it for Book 2, as I've mentioned before. And then back to The Scumbag, which is written by Rick Remender. Multiple artists. I'm going to show the artists, the credits page. I didn't hit myself, by the way, when I was doing this. It was just like, it's a minor hit. Wasn't trying to get too mad there. Anyways, 1 through 14, The Scumbag. 1 through 14? I almost thought I said 1 through 18. But no, 1 through 14 of The Scumbag, all written by Rick Remender. And also presented in this oversized hardcover format. And that, as they say, is that. A lot of comics bought, or received for Christmas. And honestly, you can't really tell if there's a blemish. Is this book 1? Yes, book 1. Unless you're looking really hard at it. And honestly, I can't even see it. Oh, it's right there. But even then, it's kind of hard to see. It doesn't show in the book itself, does it? Hopefully not. I'm still holding it with my hands are still sticky from toothpaste. And I know I washed my hands like multiple times before I started filming, so I don't know how that happened. But anyways, maybe I washed my hands once, went upstairs, started taking all the books off the shelves, then washed my hands again, which is, no, I don't know. But anyways, we're done.